You've been told to chase what you want, to show interest, to be consistent. But you've also felt the truth in your gut. When you pour attention into a woman before attraction has fully formed, it evaporates like water on hot stone. The more you push, the less she feels. The more you try to be everywhere, the more invisible you become. So today, I'm asking you to try the only counterintuitive move that actually works. Not coldness, not playing games, not punishing anyone, but strategic distance. I'm talking about calibrated space that sharpens your presence instead of dulling it. I'm talking about becoming the man who is not always available, but always desired. If what you've heard so far is shifting how you see yourself, stay with me until the end because we're just getting started. You already know the pain of doing it the wrong way. You text too soon. You double message when she hasn't answered. You hang on every ... typing bubble like it's oxygen. You check her story and your stomach dips because she viewed it but didn't reply. You pretend you're fine while your mind races. Should I say something else? Was I too bold? Not bold enough? That anxious energy is the scent of need, and it chokes attraction. Women can't trust a man who needs their response to feel okay about himself. They can't relax into a man who is allergic to silence. And they can't desire a man who refuses to leave any room for desire to grow. Distance isn't about withdrawing affection. It's about oxygen. It's about letting the flame breathe so it doesn't smother itself. When you stop flooding, the signal gets clear. When you stop chasing, you become visible again. Attraction lives on contrast. Think of a dim room where one candle is blazing. You notice it precisely because the rest is dark. Your attention becomes that candle when you stop leaving every light on. When you learn to step back at the right time, your presence gets weight. Your words sink. Your invitations land. Your silence means something. The key word is calibrated. Strategic distance is not a tantrum. It's not punishment. It's not the silent treatment. It's you leading the pace of connection with intention. It begins inside you, your frame, your priorities, your mission, and only then shows up in your behaviors. If this is hitting something inside you, drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. Here's the mindset shift you must build before you send another message. You don't get validation from women, you generate it from your life. Your schedule is full because you fill it. Your phone is quiet because you're doing something louder. Your attention has value because you invest it strategically into your body, your craft, your people, your purpose. Distance is effortless when your life is heavy with meaning. When your day has weight, the need to force interactions disappears. This is not posturing, it's not pretending to be busy, it's being busy with the right things. The man with purpose naturally paces intimacy. He knows that attention is a currency and, like any currency, flood the market and its value drops. Limit the supply and demand rises. Let's get practical. Early-stage texting is where most men burn attraction to the ground. Your rule: no conversation marathons with a woman you haven't met in person. Texting is for clarity and logistics, not intimacy. Keep your messages warm and concise. If she sends you a paragraph, reply with a sentence that moves things forward, not sideways. Instead of, "How's your day?" 20 times, try, "I like the way you think about something she said. I'll be around Thursday evening. Pick a time you can keep." That line does two things at once. It validates her mind and leads with a clear frame. If she's texting only at night when she's bored, don't become her midnight entertainment channel. You're not competing with her phone, you're inviting her off it. Response timing matters, but not because you're playing timer games. It matters because you're living. If you're replying within seconds every time, you're signaling you're waiting. Mix your cadence authentically. Some responses can be quick, others can wait until you finish your set at the gym, your chapter, your task. Never reply out of anxiety. Anxiety cements the wrong pattern. She leads, you follow, she drifts, you chase. Instead, install a rhythm. My favorite is a natural 3.1 ratio. 3 times you end the interaction first, 1 time, let her end it. That ratio teaches your nervous system you're not obligated to keep talking just because a bubble appears. It teaches her that you enjoy her, but you're not orbiting her. When you end first, do it with warmth and direction. "I'm jumping into a meeting. Tell me one interesting thing you learned today, and we'll continue later." Short, affectionate, forward-moving. After a strong date, most men explode their own momentum with a flood of attention. Here's the opposite. The night ends, you leave her with the tension intact. The next day, you send one specific, grounded line that anchors the experience. You have a dangerous laugh. Next time, tacos and that story you refuse to finish. Then go quiet. Not distant, not cold. Quiet. Let her nervous system replay the night without you hammering it. This is the 48-hour oxygen rule. After a high point, you allow space for consolidation. You don't re-explain the chemistry, you don't re-argue the case, you don't try to reinforce what's already felt. Space takes your presence from nice time to, why am I still thinking about him? If she reaches out sooner, beautiful. Mirror, lead, set the next plan. If she doesn't, you check in after that window with a light, decisive invite. Not a weak, wide. A plan. Distance also lives in how you end moments. Don't let every conversation die of natural causes. Call time on them. When a phone call is rolling and you both feel the pull, say, I've got 5 left before I switch gears, but I want to hear the rest when we meet. You create a cliffhanger without performing. You stop before the scene fades, so she wants the sequel. With touch, the same principle applies. On the date, hold eye contact. Steady, unhurried. When you touch her arm, withdraw a beat earlier than your impulse. Let her body lean into the space you created. This micro-withdrawal invites pursuit, not by trickery, but by pacing. It's the difference between gulping water and sipping it. You savor. You don't consume. The man who devours too fast never tastes anything. Social media is where men hemorrhage value. You don't need to like every story, comment on every post, or become a shadow on her profile. Let your feed show the rhythm of a real life. Training, creating, laughing with your crew, moving through your city, focused eyes, relaxed shoulders. Post intentionally. Never sub-post thirst. Never try to make her jealous with obvious theater. Strategic distance on social media is restraint. You watch less than you live. You share without begging for views. When you do engage, make it count. Not a hard-eyed emoji, but a line that shows you actually saw her. You have a habit of standing where the light hits sharp angles. Keep that. Then disappear back into your life. Your comments feel like cameos, not a permanent supporting role. Now, how do you calibrate when she tests you? Because she will. She'll delay a reply to see if your frame collapses. She'll cancel to see if you'll scramble to accommodate. She'll ask for more of your attention to see if your life has guardrails. Your job is to stay kind and sovereign. No sulking, no arguments. If she replies late and the vibe is still warm, mirror that pace. If she cancels last minute and it's rare, reschedule once with ease. All good. I'm free next Wednesday at 7. Same place. If it becomes a pattern, you don't beg. You withdraw with clarity. I move on when plans keep sliding. If you want to lock something real, you know where I am. That's not a threat. It's a standard. The man who values his time invites people who value it too. If you know a brother who needs to hear this, send it to him today. Don't keep it to yourself. Use language that guides, not pleads. Instead of, when can I see you? Say, I'm taking Thursday for myself, but I can do Sunday afternoon, coffee and a walk by the river. Instead of, I miss you, say, there's a conversation I want to continue with you, and I'm not doing it by text. Instead of, why didn't you reply? Say, nothing. Address the plan, not the emotion. I'm free Tuesday or Friday. Pick one that works. Keep your messages masculine, grounded in time, place, and action. That's what makes distance compelling. It's paired with decisiveness. Distance without direction is absence. Distance with direction is polarity. Let's talk about attention windows. Give yourself structured windows where you're reachable and present. When you're working, you're working. When you're lifting, you're lifting. When you're with friends, you're with friends. If she messages during those times, you get back after. Consistency in your priorities builds attraction because it builds trust. She learns your words are not blown by the wind. And when you give attention, it's not distracted fragments, it's focused presence. This is why ending first matters. This is why I have 15 is powerful. You teach her body that your attention has boundaries. Boundaries make people feel safe. Safety lets desire bloom. Distance also means you don't try to coach her interest. You don't send a thesis explaining how she should value you. You don't sell the product, you become the product worth buying. What does that look like? You invest in your aesthetics, clean cuts, a signature scent, shoes that tell a story. You invest in your voice, slower, lower, each sentence landing like a step down a staircase. You invest in your posture, shoulders back, chin level, eyes that measure, not scan. You invest in your competence. On a date, you choose the table, you navigate the streets, you pay attention to the room. You speak like a man who can say no to himself, which is why any yes you give feels rich. Strategic distance becomes natural when your presence is heavy with these details. Here's a simple daily discipline that will change your patterns faster than any trick. The no double text rule. If she hasn't answered, your desire to send another message is not about connection. It's about soothing your anxiety. Let your anxiety burn without feeding it. Go do one thing that invests in you. A set of pull-ups, 10 pages of a book, a cold shower, a quick walk in open air. Then, if you still feel like you must text, you don't. You breathe. The first time you refuse to soothe yourself with her attention, you reclaim your leadership. The first time you sit in the discomfort of space, you become a man whose nervous system is not for sale. What about long-distance or busy season dynamics where responses are naturally slower? Your strategy is to make every touch point count. Replace static "how are you" check-ins with micro-experiences you create on the fly. A voice note describing the way the rain smells on your balcony right now and how you'd pull her into that air. A photo of the book you're reading with one line that punched you. A quick call you initiate and then end gracefully after a few minutes because you're walking into your next thing. These are quality impressions, not quantity. You'd rather leave a powerful echo twice a week than a weak whisper every day. Pre-selection and social proof are delicate. Yes, women notice when a man is wanted. But your distance must never be the threat of other women. It should be the gravity of your purpose. If your distance feels like you're manufacturing jealousy, you become a boy with props. If your distance feels like you're obeying your mission, you become a man with orbit. The difference is felt immediately. She might say, "You're hard to pin down," and you smile and say, "I keep my promises. That includes the ones I make to myself." That line frames everything. You're not avoiding intimacy. You're protecting intensity. You're not ignoring her. You're refusing to erode what you're building by being everywhere at once. When attraction is budding, install the climb. Build a step, then give space. You flirt and let it land. You escalate touch to the edge of her comfort and pull back to let her reach. You offer a specific plan and let her choose. You avoid smothering the moment with over-explanation. The latter looks like this: spark, plan, space, meet, spark deeper, space, intimacy. Most men replace those spaces with clinging. Don't. The space makes the steps taller. The steps make the payoff sweeter. Think of a song with a heavy beat and silence between. It hypnotizes because it respects rhythm. Now let's get clear on the difference between mystery and confusion. Strategic distance is mystery. She feels your direction even when you pull back. Confusion is when she has no idea where she stands because you won't communicate standards. The first creates desire, the second triggers defense. So be direct. "I don't text all day. I like saving things for when I see you." "I won't chase a plan that keeps changing." "I value a woman who can match energy and keep her word." Say these once, calmly, then embody them. A standard you enforce silently is louder than a speech you repeat. If she matches you, close the distance and reward it. "I like how decisive you are. Thursday it is." If she doesn't, release with grace. Not every silence needs to be filled. Not every number needs to become a date. The world is abundant when you are. Calibrating distance inside a relationship is equally powerful. You don't live in each other's phones. You have hours that are yours and hours that are shared. You keep sacred your training time, your deep work, your friends. You bring her into your world without abandoning it. You still end some calls first. You still plan dates with a beginning and an end. You still choose moments to step away so the reunion can have voltage. You still keep pieces of your interior life that are yours alone. This isn't secrecy, it's sovereignty. The moment your entire identity becomes the relationship, attraction thins. The moment you retain your edges, attraction thickens. Two complete people, choosing each other again and again. Now, there's a moment every man encounters. The temptation to use distance as a weapon. She pulls back and your ego wants to make her feel it. Don't. Weaponized silence is brittle. It breaks in your hands and leaves cuts you keep bleeding from later. If you're hurt, say so in clean language. I didn't like how that felt. Then step back, not to punish, but to protect the standard. Strategic distance is a gate, not a wall. Gates can open when respect returns. Walls just echo. When should you lean in rather than lean back? When she invests. When she initiates plans. When she asks real questions about you. When she remembers small details you dropped days ago. When she orients her schedule around seeing you. That's when you close the gap decisively. You don't match her investment with distance. You meet it with leadership. You moved your day for this? Good. I'm bringing you to that place I told you about. You reward effort with presence. You keep the pace firm but warm. Remember, distance is for the absence of investment, not the presence of it. If your mind needs a simple filter, use this: mirror and lead. Mirror her investment so you never grossly overgive or undergive. Lead the next step so the dance continues. Mirror protects your value. Lead protects the momentum. Example. She sends a short reply 2 hours later. You mirror the brevity and lead with a plan. I'm around Sunday. Sunset walk or late coffee. She sends a long, curious message. You mirror the depth and lead the direction. You think differently. I'm not doing this over text. Wednesday, 7:30, bring that opinion. You're not withholding, you're choosing. Let's deal with ghosting, the modern plague. If she disappears after mild engagement, don't call a meeting to discuss it with yourself. Don't write paragraphs. Don't demand closure from someone who can't give it. Your response is the cleanest line you'll ever deliver. Silence. Real silence. You become unavailable for immaturity. You don't kick the door. You don't camp outside it. You return to your life like a king returns to his court. Work to do, men to sharpen, body to train, places to move. Your absence in low-quality dynamics is not a tactic. It's a declaration of identity. Here's the re-engagement formula when space is stretched and you want to reopen the channel. You don't reach out with, "Hey." You don't reference the gap as if it's a wound. You drop a hook that matches the last real thread between you and move forward. You mentioned you've never tried the night market on 8th. I'm hitting it Friday. Come walk with me for an hour, test your theory. It's specific, it's time-bound, it's confident. If she bites, great. Distance did its job. If she doesn't, you've lost nothing because you weren't clinging. Your life kept moving, and it will keep moving. Notice how all of this points to one center: you. Strategic distance is only powerful when the center is strong, so build the center. Get your sleep under control. Eat like a man who respects his machine. Train like your life depends on your body, because it does. Cut the dopamine garbage that makes you trigger happy on your phone. Rich men protect their money with systems. Rich men of character protect their attention with systems. Use app limits. Put your phone in another room while you work. Create a ritual for the first and last minutes of your day that has nothing to do with notifications. You'll notice something wild. When you train your nervous system to be calm without her, she senses it. Calm creates gravity. Gravity attracts. Speak like a man who assumes attraction, not like a man who's trying to build it from zero with words. Assume interest and you'll act like it's normal, not like it's a miracle you must protect. You'll move with the ease of someone who has options, because you do. Not because there are 10 women waiting, but because you always have the option to return to yourself. That's the greatest option of all. A man who can return to himself is never hostage. And a man who is not hostage is deeply attractive. Now breathe with me for a second. Imagine the next time you meet a woman who sparks you. You feel that flicker. Instead of talking yourself into a frenzy, you let the moment be what it is. You tease, you smile, you hold eye contact a heartbeat longer than comfortable. You get her number and you walk away. Not because you're trying to look cool, but because the scene is complete. Later you text with clarity, not hunger. You offer a plan. She says yes. You show up fresh, not frantic. On the date, you give presents and then you end the night while the tension is still alive. The next day, one line and silence. She reaches. You lead. You install rhythm. Your absence between moments is not a void. It's a velvet rope. Not everyone gets through. The ones who do feel lucky. If this is landing, let it change your next hour, not just your next thought. Look at your last 3 conversations and audit them ruthlessly. Where did you over-explain? Where did you stay when the scene was already over? Where did you try to coach interest instead of letting space test it? Fix one thing today. End one conversation first. Say no to one impulse to check your phone. Replace one needy message with a decisive plan. Attraction is not built with grand gestures, it's built with calibrated habits, repeated until your presence becomes the most natural thing about you. I'll leave you with the cleanest reframe of all. Strategic distance is not about ignoring her, it's about honoring you. It's you refusing to trade the weight of your life for the hope of a quick hit of attention. It's you choosing to protect intensity instead of feeding your anxiety. It's you remembering that you become attractive not by chasing, but by leading. Leading your focus, your pace, your boundaries, your invitations. When you move like this, distance stops being a tactic. It becomes your signature. And when you close the distance, it means something. If what you've heard today shifted the way you feel yourself as a man, stay with me. Re-listen, pick one line, and live it. If this touched a nerve or freed a truth, drop your thoughts below. I read every single one, and I answer the ones that show skin in the game. And if you know a brother who's drowning in his own overgiving, who needs this wake-up call, send it to him today. Don't keep it to yourself. Your presence is the most expensive thing you own. Spend it like a king,